And welcome back into the Cowboys Report, live once again. Tom Downey, producer Chris behind the scenes after his vacation. He is back. Stone will be back producing on Thursday. Got another full show for you guys here. We'll spend some time on free agency. We'll get to our Madden sim against the Panthers. At this point, I am now just picking what I think are the cool uniforms for the opposing team to wear. So the Panthers are in their all blacks. I think it looks kind of cool. Back to the free agency side of things here. Would you guys sign Stephon Gilmore? He's still available. For some teams, we're 2 weeks away from training camp getting going. Would you add him if you ran the Cowboys? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off for me in the comment section of this video. Y or N? Let's see. We got yeses from Seabass, Christopher, Knights, Chris, different Christopher. What are the odds of having two different Chris's and Christophers back to back? 3 with you. That's true. Let's see. Steven says yes. Francisco says yes. Jackson Edits and Madden says yes. Lil Reg. Venice Original. Fashionista. Tyler. Mamba. All typing in their yeses for bringing back Stephon Gilmore. In a bubble, it's a no-brainer. I also wonder just how tricky of timing that ends up being with some of the issues you're going to potentially run into that we'll talk about as part of today's show. Brokoff says no tank. Well, you're kind of past the tank chances. That you kind of can't tank right now. Unless you get a bunch of bad injuries, you can't do it. You also really can't cut Jordan Lewis. You don't save any money. You can bench him, but you can't cut him because of the way you guaranteed his career, which was it's a fine deal. The Jordan Lewis deal was not a bad one, as far as I'm concerned, in pretty much any capacity. Now, Joseph Randall won the first round of running back voting for the Cowboys Legend Ring of Honor. It's obviously, again, not good players. These are players who at one time played for the Cowboys. They were not that good in most cases, but they played for Dallas. Whenever they get cut or signed by somebody, they get mentioned as former Cowboy, whether that was a decade or whatever. They were on the Cowboys, right? So 5 options for a mostly older group of running backs. Mike Weber is the exception as a not that old guy. Derrick Lassic, who was the brief Emmett replacement. Sherman Williams was your 1995 second round pick out of Alabama, Chris. And he was not very good. That was the all backup draft that was the all backup draft for the Dallas Cowboys, which was just stupid.
Is this the same Sherman Williams that does paint now?
That's Sherwin Williams.
Oh, that's Sherwin Williams. Okay.
Sure. Duane Thomas, who, the more I think about it, and people who are older than I am and watched him maybe could have given an answer. Is he just like that generation's David Irving? Like, super talented player. Dude was a head case, though. Like, he got traded, and they vetoed the trade because he was such a bad teammate for the new guys. Like, a weekend, like, nope, we're not doing this. We're going to undo it. Got traded again. They didn't show up to the old team. Got traded again. It was ridiculous. It was like he got traded like 4 times in a year, and only 2 of them stuck. It was insane. And then my personal vote is Troy Hambrick. Like, I think that is I think that's a no-brainer. That was the actual Emmett replacement, who was also not very good. I'd probably rank them Hambrick, Thomas, maybe almost in reverse order. Now that I look at it there, Hambrick's got 38% of the vote. Duane Thomas, now 37 for Hambrick, 36 for Duane Thomas. Sherman Williams says 14%. Ecuadorman says Sherman Williams is 2 people. I don't know anything about paint, other than you're not supposed to huff it. Mike Weber, Derrick Lassic combining for 13. So the streak of picking the least voted guy is in jeopardy at this time. Here's today's Super Chat menu. $20. We will do another shot. As I think about it, we're getting a little bit low on the shots, so I'm going to probably have to get some more in the near future. $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap. So got plenty of those available. $100 to get all 3. Chris, while you were out, I asked James how much for a free PTO day for college football for me. It was $250. Anthony McMillan delivered. So I asked, okay, how much for Chris or Stone? Answer was $300. Stone did not get it on Thursday, so you get a chance to do it first. Then it would bump up again for Stone. So $300 to take. I guess maybe if you get it, we'll do it like on a weekend, so that because you're not going to get the early edition, right? Yeah, I got the early edition because I'm a sicko. So 300, and Chris gets a free PTO day for CFB 25. So who you got in this week's Madden Sim? C for the Cowboys or P for the Panthers? I did have to refilm it once. It was a Cowboys win on the first game because it gave me the controller disconnected error because I did it while I was out and about, and I came back. And the second, third, and fourth quarters all had controller disconnected, so I couldn't see what was going on. It was like a 28-10 win by the Cowboys. So we'll see what happens this time. I'd literally just go check and make sure it's not like screwed up. And I'm like, okay, we're good to go. C for the Cowboys, P for the Panthers. Let me know in the comment section. It should be the Cowboys in real life. Carolina, I am unconvinced is going to end up being a good football team. And I think they got a lot of issues. I think they got better coaching staff this year. Probably telling about Frank Reich, how bad the two offensive lines he was at were before and after he was there, and they kind of fell apart pretty badly. C for the Cowboys, P for the Panthers. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comment section of today's video. A bit unusual. The Cowboys could play the Panthers back-to-back years. Not that common. Not that common. Now, we'll spend some time today talking breakout candidates on the defensive side of the ball. Name a player who you think breaks out on defense. We'll give some shout-outs here. You can speak it into existence a little bit. I am going to speak one player into existence because you kind of need it for one player in particular as far as I'm concerned, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Name a player you think breaks out on the defensive side of the football. See, Trayvon Diggs, I think he already broke out. Bounce back, yes. Kalen Carson, I don't know. I think that's a rookie. I don't like putting rookies on that list more often than not. Mozzie Smith, it's a good one. How much more room does Micah Parsons have to break out? There's room to be better. Yeah, I agree. Oso Odighizuwa, I do think is a very good one. I think that is a very, very good answer. Sam Williams works, so that's, I think, going to be a popular one too. Another Odighizuwa from Bruno. Damone Clark from Brokov, not a bad answer. Not someone I put on the list. DeMarvion Overshone. I assume Thomas is Wanye Thomas and not William writing in for Duane Thomas in the pin poll. Another Damone Clark in there. Justin Rogers, again, a rookie. I think he could play a big role for you. Could be a nice sleeper pick at the rookie position. So, Deuce Vaughn. Well, we're on defense. Yeah, you can't be Deuce Vaughn. Malik Hooker. Okay. A veteran, not a name you'd normally associate, I think, with breakout, but he can be better. So, yeah, I think that's absolutely an eligible option there. Help us continue to grow the Cowboys Report by liking today's video. 100 likes is always the benchmark for a live show when it's July. There's not a lot going on. We know that. It's okay. It's July. We're still here to have fun, though. So help us get to 100 likes on today's show and be in the habit of always liking the Cowboys Report. Every time there's a new video, you click it, you like it. That should be your process there. Help us continue to grow by liking today's show. Here's what's coming up live on the Cowboys Report. We got some news and rumors for you. We'll break down the latest heavy free agency stuff there. A mailbag, 2 ways to get on the show, #Cowboys or Super Chat. Some Cowboys breakout candidates on the defensive side of the ball, and a Cowboys versus Panthers Madden Sim. All coming up live here on the Cowboys Report. We're not just on YouTube. We are also on Instagram. So if you haven't already, go give us a follow on our Instagram page @Cowboys Report IG. Posting short form stuff, videos and photos, etc. over there. So if you're on Instagram, why not give us a follow, get some more Cowboys in your feed when you're scrolling that platform. @Cowboys Report IG. Link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. Let's talk bringing back Stephon Gilmore. Blogging the boys that I thought was a pretty solid argument as to why the Cowboys should attempt to bring back Gilmore in NFL free agency. Now, attempt and try and reasonable, all important to remember that it's not always a lock necessarily either. So argument part 1 of why bring him back, pretty straightforward. He's still a good football player. Is he the same guy he was in his prime? No. If you're going to rank the top 64 or maybe you want to expand to 3 CBs, 90-plus starting corners, I think Gilmore's in that list. I would have a very tough time finding 90 other corners who I think are better than Stephon Gilmore right now. I don't find that likely. Now, the issue for Dallas is, well, is he your starter? The one pro I agree with is you are making that cornerback room great. Of all the things you could have just, run it back with this year, I think corner was the most obvious one. Now, they're fine right now. They have Trayvon Diggs coming back from injury. Deron Bland played great last year. Jordan Lewis as your nickel is fine. Don't worry about that. He's a good player. I like Kalen Carson as a developmental piece. A little bit thin beyond that. You make Gilmore worst case CB4. It's a great cornerback room. I totally agree with that. And I like the other argument angle too, was that this proves the Cowboys want to win. Now, does signing Stephon Gilmore alone actually prove that? Maybe not. But it makes us feel better about it, right? You bring back Gilmore, even if he's coming off the injury, etc. That's a big deal. So I do like the argument there. I don't think it actually proves it, but at least gives you some more evidence of a team trying to win games where they haven't really done a lot of that this offseason. More on this to come, the downsides or anti-arguments, I suppose. But would you sign Stephon Gilmore? Y for yes, N for no. Go ahead and sound off at the pinned comment of today's show. Now, look, I would be happy to bring back Stephon Gilmore. I don't think anyone is that opposed to it at the right price, at the right role, etc. And that's part of this whole conversation. There are buts involved here that you have to work through and clear and vet and ensure, okay, this does make sense for all the parties involved. The first con here, what actually are the contract demands? I don't think Stephon Gilmore wants to play for the vet minimum, because that also ties into point 2 we'll get to here in a second. I think he is looking for decent money. Now, is that 4? Is that 5? Is that 7? As you get further into July and into August, the demands have to drop a little bit if no one's willing to pay, unless somebody ends up getting hurt. And that could also be at play here. I don't think Stephon Gilmore wants to be a backup. There are actually no active corners his age in the NFL. Now, if Patrick Peterson signs, there's another one. But corner is, historically speaking, a young man's game. And I think Gilmore wants to go somewhere he's going to play. And I don't think it makes sense for teams to go, yeah, we'll bring him in as our CB5. That's how they view him, which I don't think they should view him that way, but still. And go, yeah, he'll be a backup and help on special teams. I think as you get into older players, the ageism that comes in is, well, if you're not starting for us, having an old backup doesn't really impact us the way it would having a younger, cheaper backup. The final angle here is what's his health. They had coming off that shoulder injury, had surgery. I think that was a factor in why he's unsigned. But there's a lot of guys who are unsigned right now at corner. Xavier Howard is still out there. Patrick Peterson. So maybe there's a little bit of a surplus in the market, and teams are waiting to see how it all plays out. But if the money and the playing time match for all parties involved, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't happen. And it's probably one of those 2 main reasons in the end. Now, if you've watched our live Cowboys Report shows or the new intro, you've seen the turnover chain, right? You can get yours as well over at chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. I've got the white chain link. The blue one is the one that's available and on sale, by the way, for about 25% off. Actually, it might be 30% off now. Go to chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. More free agency conversation. How about adding an offensive tackle? Pro Football Network was naming 1 player each NFL team should sign, and their pitch, their suggestion, their idea was former Chiefs offensive tackle Donovan Smith. Here's the argument from PFN. Dallas may opt to start top pick Tyler Guyton on the left side of the offensive line. Depth is still needed at the area perennial Pro Bowler Tyron Smith bequeaths. Bequeaths, is that right? That sounded weird. The multi-time Super Bowl winning Donovan Smith is perfect for depth and championship experience purposes. Oh, for starters, he's going to start at left tackle, or at least he's going to be at left tackle. The starting spot, not necessarily a lock per se. Donovan Smith was the Super Bowl starting left tackle for the Chiefs. Doesn't mean he played well. These are the PFF numbers, obviously. He struggled. He wasn't very good as a run blocker. He got beat a lot. in pass protection. I think Mahomes at times bailed him out. Now, Mahomes also sets pretty deep and kind of makes life tough on his tackles, but it's July. He's unsigned. My concern is this. Is he any better than Chuma Edoga? Like, is he actually? Can Asim Richards, who we'll spend some more time on here in a little bit, maybe carve out a bigger role? What about Matt Willetsko? Does Josh Ball do anything? Can Nathan Thomas be your super sub backup left lineman? Earl Bostic is really more of a tackle than he is an interior lineman, but then the math is weird on the interior side of it, even if you put Josh Ball at guard. Like, I don't know if you need someone of Smith's caliber at left tackle. So what do you think? I'll give my thoughts here momentarily. Would you add Donovan Smith if you ran the Cowboys? S for sign, P for pass. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments of this video. I myself am just not interested in Smith. He has not been good for several years now. It was kind of a surprise when the Chiefs picked him up off the street and said, you can start for us. He struggled in Tampa down the stretch, in Kansas City the past year. Remember when Micah Parsons destroyed him in the Bucs game? He was cooking Donovan Smith left and right. The Chiefs, by the way, don't seem to want him, even though he was their starting left tackle for a Super Bowl winning team. Isn't that kind of a red flag? The idea that, yeah, he's not good enough for the Chiefs? Look, the Cowboys might not start Tyler Guyton. Maybe he starts week 5 instead of week 1, whatever. But Donovan Smith doesn't move the needle for me relative to other offensive linemen on this roster or even maybe a bigger name in free agency. Adding another Jag, just the guy, doesn't matter. That doesn't move the needle for me. So it's a hard pass for me as it relates to Donovan Smith. Now, we are approaching 190,000 subscribers right here on the Cowboys Report. Help us get there. More free videos every single day when you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Intriguing, kind of similar to our offensive line conversation here. Suggestion from Cowboys Wire. Is it time for the Cowboys to put Asim Richards over at right tackle? I am intrigued by this. Now, Richards played sparingly in the preseason, was basically a redshirt year coming out of North Carolina. I thought did some good things in the preseason. It'd be concerning if he was a dumpster fire in the preseason because you're not normally playing against the top-end starters. But the main argument was, what's his path to being a contributing player? Guyton is your left tackle. Tyler Smith is your left guard. At best, you're the backup left tackle swing guy. Terrence Steele, meanwhile, is fighting for his future in Dallas. If he struggles this year, that right tackle spot is wide open. And there's also question marks about, do I trust Chuma Edoga at right tackle? He can be a swing guy too. The value of being a swing player, being able to play both sides of the offensive line, is amplified when you're the 8th or 9th offensive line as opposed to being the 4th or 5th, right? So should Richards flip to right tackle this season? R for yes, L for no. Sound off in the comments. I think the idea of moving Asim Richards to right tackle makes a ton of sense. You spent a first-round pick on Tyler Guyton. He is your guy, short-term, long-term, at the left tackle spot. You're not going to have Richards surpass him, barring, frankly, something bad happening. I think Terrence Steele, meanwhile, is absolutely in a make-or-break season. So could he prove himself as a swing tackle? Somebody goes down, Richards is the first guy in at tackle over Chuma Edoga, over Matt Willetsko, whatever. The position flexibility matters at the back end of the roster. If you're limited to being a one-spot player on the offensive line and you're the 9th or 10th best offensive lineman and the other 9th or 10th best offensive lineman can play 3 spots, guess who's going to get the spot? The guy that's more versatile. So I want to see if Richards can do it. I want to see if he's able to hang at the right side, which he didn't really do any of necessarily at North Carolina. Best way to do that? Get him going in training camp. Time for a mailbag here on the Cowboys Report. There are 2 ways to get on the show. Use hashtag Cowboys. That just gets your questions in the queue for producer Chris to pick them and bring them up on screen. Or super chat, and you are guaranteed to get on the show. We do have a super chat menu for you today. $20 for a shot, $50 for the beer bong or a tortilla slap. $100 for the bong, slap, and shot trio combination platter. $300, and Chris gets a free PTO day for CFB 25. You want that one? Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. Got mine already. Now it's producer Chris's turn. So price was raised from James. And if Chris gets it today, then it's $3.50 for Stone. Stone didn't get it last time, so you get your chance today, Chris. We'll see if it happens. We are almost out of time. We've got like 1 or 2 more live shows for this to be doable. Because once it's out, I can't give you a free PTO day. So that's our super chat menu. You have questions, get them in. You put those prices in. We'll have some fun and amplify it there. You can also get your regular questions in, like Brian Perry just did, using hashtag Cowboys. That puts you in the queue, and it allows Chris to find your questions. Otherwise, there's too much. If you don't put the hashtag Cowboys in there, it just all kind of gets buried, which is not necessarily something that we like to have there. So doesn't have to, by the way, be a question. It can be like a comment, a thought, whatever. Like Matt Owens, I think your comment would work well if you put the hashtag Cowboys in there too. So again, 2 paths to getting on the show. You can use hashtag Cowboys or skip that line altogether if by using that super chat feature. Obviously, the super chat's optional. The hashtag Cowboys is how you actually get on, because otherwise there's just too many comments for you, right, Chris? You can't find anything in there. It's kind of a nightmare. So get your questions in, hashtag Cowboys or super chat to get on the show. As soon as I get the all clear from Chris, we'll start. By the way, there are multiple super thanks that we have to get to as part of today's mailbag. So the super chat would actually be helpful and guaranteed, because otherwise it might not get on. You guys are watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We have a mailbag coming at you guys with several super thanks we have to get to. We had a $25 super thanks come in from Mark. Thank you very much, Mark. Everyone spam Mark in the comments. He says, please do the video of the salary cap. I mentioned that on our last live show. I think it was last mailbag, actually, too, about is this something you guys want? Resounding yes, even before Mark put in his $25 super thanks. So that video is available. It is on the channel. It's actually the featured video on the channel right now. The thumbnail looks like that. I'll make sure it's linked in the comment section in the description of today's video as well. Mostly positive reviews, so thank you very much for that, guys. Was one of 2 videos we put out on Sunday. We're almost at the 2 video per day threshold. We're just underneath it. If we include lives, we're there. And if we include shorts, we're at like 3. Kind of blow by it there. So get your questions in via hashtag Cowboys, or make sure you guys are subscribed. I don't know what the hell I'm doing there. I'm looking at the next thing. Get your ability to not miss out on any video squared away. Hit that sub button right now. All right, CJ DeYoung, a $5 super thanks. Thank you, CJ. And don't get me in trouble here with this. I want to make that clear. I'm reading it, then I'll answer. Says, not a big fan of Fish. Always telling his viewers how cool he is and what cool shit he can do, but not us. Oh, no. Canceled my subscription to his channel some time ago now. Thanks for what you do. Wish you were getting the inside scoops, Tom. First off, thank you, CJ. Secondly, I don't want any bad blood between me and Fish. I don't like having any negative things go on there. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like Fish. Don't have to like anybody. Don't like anybody. There's a lot of great Cowboys content creators. I think as Cowboys fans, we're kind of lucky. There's a lot more of us doing really good stuff than other fan bases out there. So I actually like what Fish does. You guys don't have to. I know the people who watch who don't like what I say. That's fine too. It's the whole point of opinion-based content, right? I actually don't want to be Scoops guy. That's not fun because you're going to get lied to sometimes. So happy to have you, CJ, but it's all good between me and everybody else too. CJ, really pushing the I'll put any super thanks that comes on air there a little bit. Hey, Tommy, this one too. Had my photo with Giovanni Gallardo's super thanks post. Sorry, Giovanni. I guess congrats, CJ, as part of that. So our bad again. Any super thanks that come in, even if it's just, hey, Tom, you suck, we will put it on, and I'll probably make the pinned comment of that video, do I suck? Why for YesN for now. But we'll have some fun with it. From Scott, $5 super thanks. Thank you, Scott. Think they will use Lamb more in the run game this year to offset our lack of backs. I would like it. Now, I'm not saying you go full-fledged Deebo Samuel, give him 10 carries a game, but every time they put him in the backfield, good things happen. That should be a package they use each week. Even if it's 3 to 5 snaps in the backfield, he gets 1 handoff and runs 2 routes. You're kind of playing with the defense's rules and trying to make them adjust on the fly when that happens. You send out Deuce Vaughn out there and put him out wide, And then Lamb in the backfield, you're going to force some adjustments to be made on the fly there, whether it's a handoff or a pass play. That angle route to Lamb out of the backfield literally always works. Run it all the time. From Braden, this is a $2 super thanks. He has not changed his YouTube @ handle, which I think I don't like that change from YouTube because it just looks weird. If CD holds out of camp and still doesn't get paid by the start of the season, think there's a chance he holds out of games. I would be shocked if Lamb misses more than a couple weeks of training camp. The punishment is so punitive, you're losing a lot of money. And he's not going to miss game checks. That's a lot of, we're talking about $1 million per game almost, that he would, I think it's actually a bit more than that he wouldn't get. That's not going to happen. So he'll show up eventually. The concern is, how locked in is he? Does this turn into a me versus we scenario? I trust him and Dak maximizing things, but you should pay him. It's just a no-brainer. It shouldn't be. It should have been done already. So will CeeDee Lamb report to Cowboys training camp? That is the pinned comment on today's show. So if that ad comes on the YouTube side of things, great. Take advantage of it. Head down there. Y for yes, N for no. Over to Brian Perry. Will the Cowboys sign an offensive tackle? I don't think so. You have Matt Waletzko. Josh Ball can play tackle. He's probably going to play more guard. Nathan Thomas can play tackle. He's probably going to play more guard. You have Asim Richards. You have Chuma, Doga, Steele, and Guyton. There really wouldn't be a lot of reps to go around unless somebody gets hurt. But if everyone's healthy, I think Dallas thinks they're in good enough shape along the offensive line. Roy Williams, any good UFL defensive tackles that are available? I hate this defensive tackle room. I agree. I don't like this defensive tackle room. I think it's pretty bad, all things considered. There's not great UFL DTs like Daniel Wise coming off of injury, like Breland Speaks is kind of more of a pass rusher type, really more DE. It's like some of your best trench players in the UFL are guys that didn't cut it in Dallas, like Taco Charlton, Breland Speaks, Daniel Wise. It's just not a great group. I would agree. They need defensive tackle help. My hope is that they sign somebody off of waivers or they go trade for somebody. Tristan Martin, who's this year's camp love at wide receiver? Pet cat is the term I always use, and some people don't always. You know what a pet cat is, Chris? Do you understand? You don't? I guess that's just me then. The pet cat is like your favorite player that isn't actually that great. Like Amari Niblack last year was your pet cat for Alabama. Player you're just higher on. I think Ryan Flournoy is going to make some big plays. Maybe it's Jalen Cropper. Maybe it's Billy Tyron Johnson. There are players in the wide receiver room I think can make some plays for you. And early on in camp, it kind of favors the wide receivers. There's always somebody that steps up that we fall in love with that goes, that's our guy. There's always somebody. And more often than not, they end up not working out. But that's what makes camp fun sometimes. So name a sleeper on the Cowboys. This could be any position, not just wide receiver. Let me know in the comment section. Hit that or go vote. Name a sleeper on the Cowboys. Matt O is looking at Chat Sports Open Jobs right now. How do you like the company? I'm not saying this because we're on air, but I love it. I've been doing this my entire adult life. It's the best job ever. So yeah, should apply. Food review. Given that Jerry is reluctant to pay anyone, but always has a surprise pay in camp, who do you think the surprise pay or extension in training camp is? Couple names. I think that the one sleeper is Osa Odigizua. I don't think his market could be kind of weird in the sense that I think if he has a breakout season, hits free agency, he's going to get a lot more money than what I think we're expecting. Even more than the surprise Tyler Biotish contract. Normally they go with the younger player, they surprise extend them. There's not that many great options. If they're blown away with what Rico Dowdle is doing, maybe they try to extend him. I need to double check. I don't know if Cavante Turpin's eligible yet, or if he is or not, because he hasn't played 3 years yet, but he was also an undrafted free agent, technically speaking. So I think he is eligible. So I would strongly consider. He's also an RFA, so there's no rush necessarily from that angle. Beyond that, it's do you want to surprise and extend Trey Lance? which you have to feel like, but also what the hell does that contract look like? I have really no idea. So there's not that many guys they have to pay that are young and beyond, Lamb and Micah. That's kind of why you should get those deals done. Can't pay Tyler Smith yet either. $5 super chat from CT. Thank you, CT. Let's say CD doesn't get paid by the boys and he does request a trade. What is a trade that offsets the blow the team will take, or are you just screwed? So I think no matter what you do, realistically, you're giving up the best asset in that trade. There's no deal that's going to net you a better individual player than CeeDee Lamb. Like, you're not going to get Justin Jefferson from the Vikings. So trade value-wise, like the Bengals aren't going to trade you Jamar Chase. So receivers in that tier are kind of off the radar there. Now, they would never do it. They would never do it. I don't think either side would do it. The deals that could make some sense for you is if you call Philadelphia and the Giants and you get one of their defensive tackles. Hypothetically, it's like a Jordan Davis and I guess Devonta Smith, which doesn't make sense at all for Philadelphia. Ignore the contract angle. And you send them, Mozzie and CeeDee Lamb, which I think the Eagles say no to that deal, by the way. Or the Giants call and you get Dexter Lawrence and Jalen Hyatt or like Wan'Dale Robinson or something. Or you just go picks and you tank. But if you're trading Lamb, you're not going to win as many games this year. You also have to find a new receiver with that. Like if you get a first and a second, that first has to be spent on a wide receiver. Because you don't have a number one. But you also then are going to be not as good. You're going to might need a new quarterback. It just gets messy. However you slice it, winning games now or not, like just pay him. It's not that. It's honestly not that hard. From Mike, do you get it? Yeah, you guys got it. He said it. You guys couldn't hear him. He said it. Will Trayvon Diggs be ready for camp? I think so. Now, maybe he missed like a week of it or something. I think Overshown will be. Diggs is maybe more like 55-45 for me at this point, but that's just vibes based there. I think if he isn't ready for camp, he's not going to miss very much time. I think this is not a Gallup scenario. So how many players do you think start the year on the PUP list for Dallas? Overshown's a possibility. Trayvon Diggs. I don't think we can sleep on Mozzie Smith being on that list. Let me know in the comments of today's video. Tyler, with Dallas likely getting a mid-20 draft pick, what is the best option? They aren't high enough to get a franchise quarterback or running back, and they have other needs at all O-line, DT, linebacker, cornerback, projected pick. Well, I think running back would be very much be in play, actually. It's a good class. Be several guys worthy of that 20 to 45 pick range, how they've played this past season. Whether it's Judkins over at Ole Miss, Boise State kid, Gene T, Ollie Gordon, if the DUI stuff is no longer a concern. Look, I think they've got options. DT, if you can find a good DT, makes a lot of sense. I don't think there's been a first pick on a linebacker. Corner, if you're not going to know what you do with Bland long term, like I think running back's in play. I think O-line's in play. And if you are in the 20s, you don't have Dak, probably not the right spot to take a quarterback. You're right. So it makes it tricky to try to project out, 8 months from now. From Tony, over or under on Cowboys trades before the deadline? Over, under a half. 1 or nothing. They normally do like 1. TBD if that actually ends up happening beyond that. But I think over, under 1 is probably your right ballpark. If we did not get to your question, sorry. There will be more opportunities, though, with mailbags here on the Cowboys Report. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button at youtube.com/@CowboysTV. All right, back over to the Cowboys legend voting. I'm a little surprised that Troy Hambrick is not in the lead. Because that's a no-brainer for me. I end up doing these polls in 3 separate areas. I do them on the pin poll on the live show, on my Twitter, and also on the community. And without fail, there's almost always been a difference in the community on YouTube and the Twitter side. They're very different voting, which is probably just the different audience types and who's available, who's seeing it, etc. So on the pin poll side, as Hambrick now is tied with Duane Thomas over Sherman Williams and Mike Weber, Derrick Lassic. Duane Thomas has 47% of the vote on the community side. Hambrick's got 24%. But On my Twitter, at @WhatGoingDowney, by the way, the polling is, let me find this because I tweet too much. Hambrick's got 49% of the vote. And Duane Thomas is in last, which is shocking. By the way, my Twitter always goes with the newest guy, like without fail. Like that's why Mike Weber's got such a big percentage of the vote on the Twitter side, because he's always just like not, the recency bias is strong on the Twitter side of it. So get your votes in. And like, I don't know, like what Hambrick was, I actually don't think he was very good, to be quite honest. Like took 1 year as a starter and then wasn't great, goes to Arizona, which was hilarious too, given what happened to Emmett, and then was out of the NFL. Like, he lasted 5 years. I don't think he was actually that good. Another $5 super chat from CT. Now, I don't wish him harm, but let's say Dak went down, Trey comes in and is on a winning hot streak. Do you pull a Romo and bench Dak, or do you pull Trey back? I think it depends on how that's going. Like, if Dak goes down, it would be a very, for Dak's perspective, a cruel twist of irony, I suppose. Although he'd get a deal, pretty good money elsewhere. Like, if Dak goes down and the same scenario happens and Trey Lance is playing, like, looks like the top 3 pick guy, it's kind of tough to go back to him there. Now, part of that also comes down to how the locker room feels about it. If it's like a Cooper Rush, they're winning games, but the quarterback's not really doing all that much, you're going back to Dak. That really no doubt. But if the locker room kind of flips on the starter like it did with Romo, it's a different conversation. It's a good question, though, CT, and maybe one you hope you don't face, or maybe you do, but again, you're not wishing for injury. It's a good combo, though. We'll know more in the preseason, and how he plays at camp, too, by the way, is also, I think, a pretty big deal. Here's today's Super Chat menu. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100, you get all 3, the bong, slap, and shot combo pack. $300, and Chris gets a PTO day for CFB 25. That release coming next week, which I cannot wait for. I got the early access edition because I'm a sicko. Because I was playing NCAA Forked up until like 3 years ago. I was still in online dynasties with the revamped and everything. Like I was playing so much.
The dynasty seems like too much to me.
You're ridiculous. You're not going to play dynasty?
I'm not trying to DM recruits.
Nobody give Chris the $300. You know what? If specify Stone, and we'll give it to him instead.
I will road to glory until the next one comes out. But
no.
Dynasty
is the best.
They put too much in it.
That's the whole point. There should be a lot in it. It also looks very similar to the 2014 version, which is good. Because I knew all what they didn't tell you in the 2014 version. There would be like a dozen top 100 players that just didn't get recruited for the first 3 months, and I would just like get like the 5 to 10 guys interested in me and just go sort by who didn't have any offers. Boom, 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 and you would compete for those guys. And then there were like a dozen of us in the dynasties that knew that, and we would all fight over the same 4 guys. Great. All right, that is today's Super Chat menu. We'll go over again here before the Madden sim, about 10, 15 minutes. We've already gone through the offensive breakout candidates for the Dallas Cowboys. On today's show, we're breaking down the top defensive breakout candidates. It's a new defensive scheme under new DC Mike Zimmer. A lot that's going to go on with that change impacting the Cowboys. The first name on my list is wishful thinking to an extent. It's Mazi Smith, the defensive tackle. Of all the guys on this list, I don't think anyone having a breakout season relative to their perceived talent level, their draft status, expectations, I don't think anyone would have more of an impact than Mazi Smith. And Mazi Smith has a chance to really change how this Cowboys defense plays and save what I am willing to call the greatest bust in Cowboys Report history, and that is the Fatties Only campaign. Fatties Only might have to be retired if Mazi Smith isn't just average. It faces a disaster the likes we haven't seen maybe ever in our nation's history. It has been that bad of a failure. So this is one last chance for Mazi Smith to make Fatties Only happen. Spam MMFA for Make Mazi Fat Again for me in the comment section. is the weight loss was a real concern for Mazi Smith last year. I still don't know the why, whether it was accidental or he was trying to be faster and cut weight as a result. Whatever the reason was, can't happen. Shouldn't have happened. Now things have to change. The Cowboys need him to be their one technique. He has to be the nose guard in a scheme under Mike Zimmer that likes having a nose guard. That's Mazi. He needs to be it. 7th round pick, Justin Rogers. Carl Davis played last year. I thought Mazi was better than him. And that's the bar we're talking about there. And if it's not Mazi at one tech, do we trust the 7th round pick? Trust a journeyman defensive lineman? This defensive tackle room, but by the way, we will come back to because there's another player that I think needs to have a breakout season too. I think the most likely breakout player, though, is this one, DeMarvion Overshown, the linebacker out of Texas. Now, I don't believe in putting first-year players on this list that feels like cheating because it's not the breakout from. They're just instant impact guys. It's a different subcategory of terminology. Overshown was going to be an instant impact guy. And I think we would feel a lot better about that Cowboys' fairly disastrous impact rookie class if Overshown had been healthy. He looked awesome in the preseason, in camp. By week 9, he would, I think, unquestionably have been the best off-ball linebacker on this team. Now, he doesn't have to be that in year 1. They have Eric Kendricks. They can play Damone Clark. But I think when they use, and they'll use more 3 linebacker base sets than they did last year where they basically only used it in goal line scenarios, I think Overshown's going to be your weak side linebacker. He's also coming off of injury. That raises concerns. If he had been healthy, he might not have been on the list. He might have already broken out. But I have pretty high expectations for Overshown in 2024. So are you buying a DeMarvion Overshown breakout season? Y for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on this video. Go vote right now. I'm going to put Osa Odigizua on this list. And you might say, but hasn't he had a breakout season? I don't think so. He has been a pretty steady, good starter for the Cowboys in his 3 years in the NFL. He hasn't been a superstar player, but he's had moments of good play. He's made impact performances. He's been a good football player. However, Osa Odigizua is a first-half player, not of the games, but of the season. The first half of the season versus the second half of the season is a stark difference. 24 games versus 26 games. Obviously, you get some bye week stuff impacts that a little bit. 3 more tackles in 2 fewer games. 5 more sacks. 5 more TFLs. 9 more quarterback hits. Osa Odigizua is a fringe, legitimate Pro Bowl caliber player in the first half of campaigns and an average starter after that. So I don't know why he fades. I don't know if it's because he gets tired, he gets wore down, there's not enough other good defense linemen to help him out on the interior. If he can have that early season success we've seen several years in a row now, carry it through a 16-game season, at that point, we're going to be pushing. He's going to get 6 sacks, 7 sacks. Going to get, 8, 9, 10 TFLs. That's really intriguing to me if he can have that stability and consistency over the course of a season. So name a player who you think breaks out on defense. Maybe a guy I've mentioned, maybe one I haven't yet, maybe one I won't even get to. Let me know in the comments of today's show. Sam Williams is next up here. He is on both make or break season, but also breakout campaign status. I thought Williams took a step back last year. His sacks went up, pressure rate went down, the TFLs went down, the penalties went down. It's always concerning to me when you are playing in the playoffs and your second-round pick plays less than 5 snaps on defense. Like he was fun as a gunner too. That might not happen this year with Mike Zimmer, but the penalties have to stop. I think Mike Zimmer will either help Sam Williams get himself, wording intentional there, to being a potential double-digit sack guy or close to it, or it's just not going to work. Zimmer's a hard ass, but that's not a bad thing. That's trying to maximize your player, make the most out of them, get them to realize their own potential. And the guys who have been greats under that, Guys like Darren Woodson, they realize that and go, he's trying to make me better, and that challenge and pushing will make you better. Sometimes you got to kind of get your ass chewed out a little bit. I think Sam Williams needs that. I do. Off the field and on the field. There's been something every offseason. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and the sky's the limit for Sam Williams. My concern, fear, whatever you want to call it here, upside, downside, if it happens this year, boom, it's going to happen, and he's going to be a superstar or close to it, at least a star. And if it doesn't happen this year, I don't know if it ever will. Now, we will have daily Dallas Cowboys videos for you all throughout this kind of dead period in July to training camp, the preseason, and, of course, the regular season. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Only going to go with one defensive back here to wrap things up. I don't think there's a corner that stands out to me. Those guys are, Duane Atlanta had his breakout already. Diggs had his breakout. I think Marquise Bell had his breakout last year. So I'm going to go with Juan Thomas. When he has been able to play, pretty damn good. Hasn't played a ton. I still maintain I will maybe happily die on this hill. Juan Thomas should have been out there over J-Ron Curse last season. He was better than Curse. And I'm glad the Cowboys didn't bring back Curse, not to throw shade at J-Ron, because they have safeties. And what Mike Zimmer historically likes is high football IQ players, guys that can make plays in the passing game and in the running game, like all coaches do, But he wants players who are a little bit interchangeable. And I think Juan Thomas can do that. Maybe even more so. Like Hooker tackled pretty well last year. But I think with a new regime in, a player like Juan Thomas, who got a ton of praise from Mike McCarthy at a press conference, and that was kind of a prompted question, so I don't think we should read as much into it as I think some people ended up doing. But I think Juan Thomas has a chance to be a big-time key part of this team. In fact, I'd be shocked if he didn't make the roster, which I think he should. I think he should be a lock. I want to see if he can be more than safety 4. Can he earn a bigger role? How are they going to utilize the safeties? Mike doesn't love using 3 safeties. Maybe he should still this year, given your talent in the back end. So before we go, one last question on the defensive side of the ball. Where will the Cowboys defense rank in 2024? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. With Zimmer in charge, where are they going to rank? Obviously, 1 to 32 is your scale. Sound off in the comments. Here's today's Super Chat menu. We'll go through it one time, get to Ecuador Man AOG Super Chat, and then we'll get into the Madden Panthers Sim. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap. $100 you get all 3. $300 Chris or Stone, since Chris doesn't want to do the dynasty.
I'm not a coach. I'm a player.
What are you doing?
I'm a player.
You still play the games.
I'm trying to win the Heisman out here.
You can win the Heisman.
Coach of the year.
You can be Alabama and you can be Jalen Milroe.
I've never been good at building the team.
Not that hard.
I'm a big team player. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
Not trying to DM recruits on a fake game.
You don't actually type out the message. It's
I don't know what it is yet.
It's just the action you take. Anyway, $300 for that. You can specify Stone or Chris. Chris is under disciplinary review for not playing Dynasty. At least he didn't say Ultimate Team. If you wanted Ultimate Team, I'd have been mad at you. Ultimate Team's not getting touched by me. All right, $2 from Ecuador Man. Ridgeway was better than Mozzie and was let go. SMH. The Cowboys misplayed that. They got cute. They're like, oh, maybe Dak will come back, which he never was going to. We knew that. We knew he was not going to come back. I'll say this. You might be able to get John Ridgeway for free again this offseason. I'm unconvinced he's going to make it on the Commanders roster. So maybe you can right your wrong and bring back John Ridgeway at roster cutdown time. / who says no to Sean Wright or John Ridgeway straight up? Commanders got bodies at defensive tackle. Ridgeway or Federi Mathis might not make that team. So we'll see what happens on that front. But I think they made a mistake up there. Time now for our Week 15 Madden Sim. Man, we're making a lot of progress on this. Madden has been ultra kind for Dallas. They are 11-2 this season. The Panthers are 5-8. So not that bad. Who you got? C for the Cowboys, P for the Panthers. It should be a Cowboys win. I will make note, I had to sim it twice. The Cowboys won the first one. I don't know what happened to the second one, but there was the controller disconnected screen, so I had to resim it, which is never fun. Here's how the Cowboys got here. They won their first 4 games, most notably the missed field goal late by the Saints. The Cowboys survived. The Steelers they beat or lost 14-11. I think that game was still rigged. Didn't like it. Beat the Lions. An unrealistic outcome against the Niners. They beat them up pretty good. Beat the Falcons. Beat the Eagles. Kind of had a defensive disaster class against the Texans. There was a 7 by the Eagles, 28 by the Texans, 7 by the Commanders, and on 6 straight drives. It was kind of messy. Beat the Giants pretty easily. Beat up on the Bengals because, F Stone. We'll skip the standings this week because I forgot to – I made a mistake last week. I just didn't track it right. The Niners actually won the week before. They didn't lose. So the Cowboys have a 1-game lead over the 49ers in the NFC entering this game. Remember, though, it's really a game and a half lead because they have the head-to-head tiebreaker. So let's get some score predictions in for the Cowboys against the Panthers. We are at the point in the season where I'm just picking the cool jerseys for the opposing teams. So the Panthers are wearing the blackouts because I think they're awesome. The Bucs are wearing their creamsicles next week. Looks cool. Eagles going to wear their Kelly green the next time the teams play, assuming it's in Madden. As Kevontae Turpin, a bad opening return. Does not get to the 20. We also have the actual stats for Dak Prescott this year, completing 74.6 or 0.7% of his passes. Ridiculous. 2,697 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The touchdown numbers are decently accurate. The yards and attempts are kind of skewed because we're doing 6-minute quarters. Did the thing again, by the way, too. Rico Dowdle's got 760 yards this season. Lamb's got 699 through the air. So Prescott, shotgun set. Dowdle gets the first handoff, and Dowdle up the middle is going to get 9.5. They're going to give him 10 on the carry, but mark him down shy of the first down marker. This is going to be where the ball's in front of the first down marker, isn't it? It's going to be that BS again. I can see it already coming. Yeah, well, I guess it's short. Okay. You can see the blue and the red pretty clearly. Okay. Dowdle in the backfield. Handoff. Dowdle gets the first down. And most importantly, that ball did not teleport. Didn't teleport. Got there normally. So type in those ones for a first down. Minute into the game here. Prescott going to go under center again. Tight splits. Got 3 left. One of those being a tight end. Lamb out wide by himself. Prescott drops back. Throws to Lamb, and that was not remotely accurate at all. That was missed by like 6 yards. So on that note, I was listening to the gameplay deep dive on for CFB 25, and they specifically said that they were going to try to get rid of those throws. They didn't like how they were just missed by like 20 yards. Thank God! That's not realistic. Prescott handoff to Dowdle, a massive hole, and he gets the first down. Type in those ones again. Spam those ones for a first down, but an early Rico Dowdle drive for the Cowboys. 3 carries, 23 yards. Dowdle's going to go full house. Lipke, Ferguson, Dowdle gets the handoff, and there is nothing there. They gave him 2 yards on that? I don't know about that one, Jim. There's Sam Williams. Dalton, the Cowboys legend. Spam it. Spam Cowboys legend. Prescott now 2nd and 8, which I don't know how he got 2 yards there, to be honest. That didn't look like he got 2. Prescott will drop back against the 4-man rush, throw over the middle, caught for a big gain. It's Jalen Tolbert again. Type in those ones for a first down. Jalen Tolbert getting open for a big play. So 1st and 10. Prescott in the shotgun. 3 to the right. Ball to 28. Dak Downfield, overshot Brandon Cooks. Oh, that one I saw that a couple times this past year. I saw that a couple of times. RS Wirt 14 says, Schoonmaker TD for 100-piece. I somehow doubt it. I think he has like 2 catches all year. But I love it. We're all cheering for a Scooney touchdown. Prescott, 2nd and 10, swing to Dowdle. He's going to lose a yard. Passing game looks like crap. Ecuador man said flat tire for Cooks. I just think that was a bad throw by Dak. Madden Dak. Got behind him, just overshot him. 3rd and 11. Empty set for Prescott. Drops back. Over the middle. Lamb caught. First down. CeeDee Lamb. Little glance route. Got the first down. Cowboys now at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10. Type in those ones.
Could Cole Beasley do that?
No. Cole Beasley cannot do contested catches. Prescott going to go empty again. No Schoonmaker on the field. Dak blitz coming, and he's going to go down. You got to get rid of that football. Shaq Thompson came in unblocked, took down Prescott. You can't take the sack there. That's bad. Got to eat that somehow. Also, that's not Frank Reich either, by the way. That kind of looks more like Dave Canal, so I'm very confused right now. Maybe he wasn't in the game. 2nd and 17. Prescott, quick one to Ferguson. That got all 3. Not a very good play call there. Get to Zeno's super chat here momentarily. Says, is Madden Dak worse than real Daniel Jones? No, he's had a better year than Daniel Jones ever has, even in the sim. 20 TDs, 6 INTs at a 74.6% rate. It's really good. 3rd and 14. Prescott got a man. Touchdown. CeeDee Lamb on a seam play. Let's see Daniel Jones do that one time ever. Touchdown Cowboys. Dak to Lamb, a strike on 3rd and long. Here's the replay. Prescott just, I don't know what the Panthers' defensive strategy was there, but thank you. Beating up on Shaq Thompson and Troy Hill. Cowboys score. Extra point is up and good. 7-0. Oh, look at that. How does that ever get into the game? Like, what is this? How does this ever happen? It's still going. Okay, they fixed it. How does that happen? How is the fictional camera work that bad? What were they trying to focus in on? Just stupid. All right, Cowboys kickoff coming up here. Back deep for the return is Amir Smith-Marset. Not Raheem Blackshear. Interesting. I think Blackshear might do a lot of that this year for them. That'll be a touchback. They'll kneel. So we are 3 minutes into the sim. We got less than 2 to go in the first quarter. We're 4 minutes into the sim. Hashtag math. Bryce Young, he's a 72 in the game. That kind of feels right. Sorry, buddy. He was bad. He was bad. Chris is a Bama fan. Oh, he's going to do it. Oh, that's pretty close. That was close. I'm getting better because it's delayed on my end from what I see versus when it actually happens. All right, 1st and 10, Carolina. Bryce Young at the ball at the 25-yard line. Drops back to pass. Has time. Downfield. Dropped. That is very realistic.
That's why he was so bad last year.
Deontay Johnson had a big gain and hit him right in the chest, and he dropped it. So 2nd and 10 now. There's Big Mike. Big Madden Mike. Minute 50 to go here in the first quarter. Bryce Young drops back to pass. Caught. Big gain on that one. Bryce Young picks up 22 to Xavier Legette, beating Trayvon Diggs. That's the rookie Legette out of South Carolina. Contested catch. He's kind of good at those. RS Wirt 14 says a Micah sack for 20. Micah has 15 sacks this year. He needs a couple big games, and he can set the record. As I've said, if we get to the Cowboys have clinched or are locked into a spot, we're playing Trey Lance, but if Micah's going for the record, he's going to keep playing. Bryce Young, downfield, caught. That is a gain of 8. I want to say that was Tommy Tremble, but I couldn't, or maybe it was Thielen. It was Thielen. 2nd and 2 with the Panthers marching. It was a long first drive for Dallas. They had to pick up a couple big plays. It kind of does look like Dave Canales a little bit. It's not. It might just be random generated because I don't think Frank Reich was in the game then. 2nd and 2, handoff, big gain. Jonathan Brooks gets all the way down inside the 25. It's a gain of 21. The man that Jerry Jones loves, or loved. Bad return, or bad run defense there. That's been a constant. The run defense sucks in Madden for the Cowboys. It's just the teams get behind and they stop running it. 1st and 10, 24-yard line. Bryce Young throws, caught. I thought that was going to be picked. I thought that was going to be picked by Jordan Lewis. That's David Moore, by the way. There's a D Moore now on the Panthers. It is not DJ Moore. It is David Moore. 2nd and 5, heavy personnel. Handoff to Brooks right up the gut. And he gets it inside the 10. So 1st and goal coming up here. First quarter has wrapped up. You can get the Cowboys turnover chain by going to chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. They're selling the blue chain link right now. I got the silver one, but the blue one is what Madden actual Mike wore the one time. You can get yours today, chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Hopefully it gets used today in the sim. That'd be pretty cool. Link will be in the comments and the description of today's show. 1st and goal, Panthers. We are at the first play of the second quarter. 7-0, Dallas is up. Bryce Young under center, 3 tight ends left. Young, handoff. Brooks is going to get a big chunk of it. He picks up 6. Second and goal. So where you need Mozzie Smith to make a play. Don't feel good about R.S. Wirt's 20 for a Micah sack, by the way. Don't feel good about it. Young, up the middle. Hubbard will score. And Carolina gets an opening drive touchdown to respond against the Dallas Cowboys. So 7-6 coming up here with the extra point to come. That was just right up the middle, basically untouched. I think somebody might have, maybe not. Weird animation stuff. The Cowboys' run defense continues to be bad. At least that's realistic. They get gashed every game. It's a matter of if they pull away enough on offense. Extra point is up. Good. Eddie Pinheiro scores. So 7-7. Here is our super chat menu, by the way. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, $100 for the bong, slap, and shot combo, $300 for Chris to take a PTO day for CFB 25, but a free PTO day. But he doesn't want to play Dynasty, so if you want to give it to Stone instead, that's fine. So kickoff coming up here for Carolina. We are tied up at 7 early in the first quarter, or first half, early in the second quarter. R.S. Wirt says Turpin house call for 100. I love it. Kick is away. Turpin is going to take it from 2 yards out on the return. Turpin is going to get to the 30. Turpin the 40. Turpin 50. He's got the edge. 30, 25, 15, 10, 5. Turpin house call. Turpin house call. Untouched. All the way to the end zone. A Turpin house call. R.S. Wirt 14 called it. Turpin. What are the, oh my goodness. Into the end zone. Unbelievable. A house call from Cavante Turpin. Oh my goodness. Like 98 yards. Unbelievable. Extra point from Brandon Aubrey. is good. It's 14-7. We're like 3 weeks removed from Turpin taking 199 yards, getting tackled at the 1. And then he delivers. 14-7. Cowboys lead. 1 play, 1 touchdown. Wow. What a time to be alive. Unbelievable play there by Kevontae Turpin. And there it is! The 100! RS Word 14 delivers! He said he'd do 100 if Turpin had a house call, and he immediately did it. And everyone spam RS Word 14. As the ensuing kick by Carolina gets to the 29. How about you give me a beer bong and a shot here? We'll do one of those too. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Or at least spam RSW, if that's easier to type for everybody. What a moment. Says he'll do a house call, or 100 for a Turpin house call. The very next play. Untouched. 1st and 10 for Bryce Young. Handoff right side to Brooks is going to get 6 on that one. Wow. I'm going to have to cut that one up and post it as a short. Unbelievable. The immediate. To the shot first and the beer bong. 2nd and 6 for Carolina. We're almost out of shots too. Oh boy. Bryce Young throws, tipped it, incomplete. By the way, by my math, we've got maybe 1 or 2 shots left. Maybe even 3. The playoffs. Oh, Swart is his last name. Swart, however you pronounce it. There you go. SWART, spam it. 3rd and 6. Bryce Young looking, under pressure. There's a Micah sack. 16 on the season for Micah. Cheers. There's no way Turpin takes it again, right? No way. Which I would also not expect 100 for that. That's the one time on that drive thing. The 100 from our S-Wort 14 said if Turpin house called it, he'd do a hundo. And then it happened immediately. Punt team is on, a high punt. Turpin will get a chance on this return from the 35 and not get very far. It's the Mountain Dew seltzers. They are 5% for phone. That's like 4%, by the way. That's what I should try to do. Here we go. Woo! Woo! There we go. So Cowboys football. 3 tight ends out there. Handoff to Rico Dowdle gets nothing. Belch is right. Those are highly, highly carbonated. And they go right through me. 2nd and 10. We are inside of 4 minutes to go now in the first half. Prescott, downfield, got a man, caught by Lamb, a big gain. Food review, the playoffs, I'll have a schedule that I can track it, and I'll sim those games, and we'll know who I'll pretend the Cowboys are always the last game, so we know who they play if they win. But we'll have the playoff matches. I'll have a graphic that showcases who's in the playoffs, who's not in the playoffs as well. Dallas, I think a win would actually clinch a playoff spot today. Now that I think about it. I think a win clinches a playoff spot for Dallas. As Lamb is going to get the first down and more, a little juke move action. I realized that I wasn't really tracking the playoff status because they're going to be in. They are 11-2. There's a scenario I think in which they don't get in, but maybe they already have. Either way, we're going to pretend that they clinch a playoff spot today with a win. They probably already have, frankly. Dak out route caught, Cooks, physics teleporting everywhere, first down. That he jumped forward and backward and like phased. So Dallas up 14-7. Touchdown opening drive. Panthers score. Then Kevontae Turpin houses the kick return. Now, after a 3-and-out, Dallas going empty on 1st and 10. Took a sack last time. This time, Prescott drag route. Ferguson hit hard. We'll get 7, and they're doing the injury animation for Jake Ferguson, even though injuries are turned off. Buster Cherry's predicting a Jalen Tolbert touchdown. He's had his games this year. He just popped off randomly. He dominated the Bengals last week. It was kind of hilarious. Prescott, handoff. Dowdle is going to get in. Leaps for good measure. Type in those TDs. It's already 20-7. And we still got time in the first half. Type those TDs. Rico Dowdle straight up the gut. Massive hole with where Cooper Beebe was at center. Just went forward. They ran the combo block behind. Anthony McMillan! $300! Who needs a PTO?
PTO! PTO! Let's go!
We did it! I'll do another beer bong, because why not?
Anthony!
You better play some Dynasty now, Chris.
Big dog, I'll do it just for Anthony.
Anthony, you're going to do Bama.
I'll play with any team you want me to. We're really South Alabama. I'll play with South Alabama.
Stone is upset. He wanted it for himself. He wanted it for himself. Anthony McMillan. Everyone spam AM in the comments section. Let's go! As that's a bad return by Carolina to the 20.
I might just have to get the early day access now.
Woo! Go, Anthony. Everyone spam AM in the comments, and you can, Anthony, you can pick Chris's Dynasty team. He's a Bama fan, by the way. Chris, I will say you probably have some veto power.
I would do South Alabama.
I'm not going to make you do Bama or do Auburn. That'd be mean.
Oh, yeah.
Be funny, though.
I'd rather not have a PTO.
Bryce Young, off balance downfield, picked off. Trayvon Diggs, he's dangerous. The ball in his hands. He gets to the 40. Turnover chain. Let's go. It's all twisted a little bit. Trayvon Diggs, the INT. What is Bryce Young doing? Just uncorks it downfield for zero reason. Leggett had to stop and try to come back to catch it. INTs in the comments. You can get the chain, by the way. Chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Dallas is already up 21-7. 2:04 to go, and the ball's in Carolina territory. Get the chain. It's the blue chain link. Chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Anthony McMillan delivers. Papa John is right. We are taking a dump on the Panthers. Prescott teleporting handoff to Rico Dowdle. That is the only reason that play worked. There was a free rusher who couldn't teleport the way that Dak and Rico did. Bad Madden. Bad Madden. Second and 3. Prescott, quick one, caught by Ferguson. Clock is running. I think there's enough time that they won't do their stupid BS this time. I think it'll be normal. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Dak under pressure. Avoids the sack. Might have been a clip. Dak is going to tuck and run and get 3. Should have got out of bounds. I think Terrence Steele clipped there, by the way. He pushed that guy in the back. So more clock running. 2nd and 7. We got 1:05 to go. Ball to 26. Okay, now maybe I'm a bit worried about the time here. Prescott, under pressure again, throws off balance downfield, incomplete in the end zone. I don't think that can physically make that throw. Like, I don't even know if Josh Allen can physically make that throw. That was off balance, wrong foot plant, dart. I don't think Dak has it in him. 3rd and 7. 52 seconds to go. Prescott, all day, underneath, caught by Ferguson. Call your timeout. They do. 48 seconds left. 2nd quarter. We are almost to halftime. Dallas has the ball at the 13. This is where they've had issues previously with clock management. Let's see how it goes today. R. Swartz got schooned for 50. I like it. I doubt it, but I love it. He is not on the field here. Dak, under pressure again, rolling right, off balance, throws, caught, end zone, touchdown! Brandon Cooks scores! It's a blowout in Carolina. 27-7. Dallas leads, extra point to come. Another touchdown for Dallas. Cooks just on a drag route, got behind the defense. Dak flushed to the right again, finds him in the end zone for 6. Might just run the ball every play in the second half. This game's over already. Carolina does get the ball to start the half. That kickoff, or that extra point is good, 28-7. "41 seconds left. The Panthers do have all 3 timeouts, however. So they could move the ball if they, don't throw a jump ball directly to Trayvon Diggs. So kickoff coming up here. That is Amir Smith-Marset back deep on the return. Donnell says put Trey Lance in the game. I just sim it. I don't know if they ever bench the starters, but they should. That might be the game to do it. Return gets to the 21. Another bad one by Carolina. Buster Cherry, Trey Lance will get 1 start. Once the Cowboys are locked into their seed, he's playing. That could come in Week 18. There's a scenario that comes in Week 17 if the Cowboys keep winning and the Niners keep losing. But we will see what happens. Right now they have a 1-game lead over San Francisco, which is actually a 1.5 lead because they have the tiebreaker. If they are locked in, we're playing Lance and Deuce Vaughn's going to start at running back and Ryan Flournoy. It's going to be a meme game. 1st and 10. Bryce Young. Downfield. Caught. And inbounds. Tackle made on Jonathan Brooks. 33 seconds left in the half. Panthers now with the ball at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10. Long look at the huddle there for really no reason. The momentum is all on the Cowboys side. You saw some of the shaky icons. Bryce Young, it's a screen, finds Brooks. Brooks is going to get out of bounds after a gain of 9. 28 seconds left here. Panthers ball at their own 46. Second and 1. Bryce Young. Slant, caught, tackle broken at the first down marker, timeout called. Mark Scott, how about Robert Levette for an all-time running back? That is a deep pull there. That was before Jerry Jones took over. That was in the late 80s, I think. See the Walker replacement? No, it happened afterwards there. That is a deep cut at the running back spot. I like it, Mark. I like it. Thank you. 1st and 10. Bryce Young looking. Check down. Caught. And timeout Carolina. It was a gain of 6. The throw was to, I think that was Miles Sanders, actually. First time we've said his name. Ecuador, and I will not be putting Josh Ball in. No. Will not happen. I'll put TJ Basson instead of Zach Martin. That's it. 2nd and 4. Bryce Young in the shotgun. Got to get out of bounds or the clock will stop. They throw an out route, and they got out of bounds, I think. 13 seconds left. That was so close to being in bounds. They are on the fringes of field goal range. They're going to bring out the field goal unit with 13 seconds left here. Eddie Piñeiro's kick is on its way. It is no good. Off the upright. 8 seconds left and a timeout for Dallas. Doinked it. It had the distance off the right upright. It's not really a turnover, but we can show the chain. It's available. The blue with the blue linking. Chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. Dallas has 2 timeouts. They need like 15-ish to get into field goal range. Got 1 play, basically. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Looking. Downfield. Got Tolbert. He's got to get down. He does with 2 seconds left. That 2 hung up there. So they are at the 40. This is a 57-yard try for Brandon Aubrey to make it 31-7, which is that the most points we've scored in a game this year? I'm going to check. Aubrey's kick from 47 yards. It's good. He drilled it. Brandon Aubrey from 57. It's 31-7. Dallas leads. It is a massacre in Carolina. This is the most points scored by the Cowboys in a sim all year. And we're at halftime. 31-7. How about them Cowboys? One more time, our super chat menu here, folks. $20 for a shot. 50 for a beer bong or a tortilla slap, 100 for the bong, slap, and shot combo, 300, we already got it from Anthony McMillan for Chris's free PTO day. I guess we'd give it to Stone if we got another one. Well, Stone can get one. He was upset when he came in because it didn't come in on his day. Stone had a chance on Thursday, buddy. That is our super chat menu. 3rd quarter. I guess I do owe RS Word a slap, by the way. Want to do a slap real quick here? You're right. You're right, RS Word. You're very much right. You're very much right. We'll do that. You're right. We'll do that here and then resume what has been a blowout performance for the Dallas Cowboys. 31-7 here at the half. You're right, RS Word. Slap coming up here. Also, let me show you. Split it right down the money. Well, I guess it got a half moon and a crescent moon, whatever. All right, 31-7. Second half set to get going here. We'll get to Mark's super chat, by the way, as part of this. Resumption, I should say, of the game. RS Word liked it. Appreciate that. What's up with Dak's so-called injury? He's fine. He's out of the boot. I was told inflamed tendon. Others said foot sprain. Dak tried to claim he didn't want it to swell up on deep sea fishing, and I don't know if I believe that one. So something happened, but the only constant has been he's fine. He's already out of it. He was golfing in Cabo without it, so he's fine. Any news on signing the big 3? Maybe Lamb better be done by camp, or I'm going to be pissed. Are they going to prostate exam? Listen to Jerry and Steven's BS total clown show. Yeah, it's true. Kickoff here for Carolina. Amir Smith-Marset is going to dance and again get to about the 21-yard line. So pretty consistent. It stings a little more than I thought it would. Interesting. Maybe it was the shot in the beers. 1st and 10. Carolina is down 31-7 here. It has been a blowout. The most points scored of any of the Cowboys sims this year, and we are just now getting to the second half of action. That's how big of a massacre this has been. RS Works is pick 6 for 100. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Bryce Young has all day in the pocket. Now flush to his left. Off balance across his body. Caught. Adam Thielen to midfield. Huge play by the Panthers to cut the deficit to still a lot. Remember the Chris Paul, it's a huge 3 to cut the lead to 54 meme? It's that. It's that right now. Bryce Young under center. Tight splits. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Counter play. Brooks up the middle. Gets to about the 36. He's run the ball great. 5 carries, 57 yards, but the defense has made 0 stops for Carolina. Special teams allowed a touchdown and a turnover on offense, and there you go. Maybe it's Andy Dalton time in Carolina. 1st and 10. Handoff again. Brooks is not going to get anything on that one, just a yard. So from 5 carries for 57 to 6 for 58. 2nd and 9 coming up here. .435 to go in the third quarter. Kendricks did play that well, ratio. Bryce Young, play action. Swing pass, caught by Brooks, taken down hard. Good tackle. I think that was DeRon Bland who made the play. 3rd and 8. Sorry, Damone Clark made the tackle. Okay. There's Trey Lance. Will he get subbed in today or no? I don't know how Madden situational subs work. 3rd and 8. Young, play action. Throws it away with a guy that was open in the flat. That was, of all the decisions, that was one of them. Big Mike fired up. Look at the punter coming out here. A little field goal try again. Eddie Pinheiro doinked one from a little bit longer last time. This one from 50. Pinheiro's kick is good that time. Chris Paul, dagger 3, cuts the lead to 35. Same energy. So 31-10, the Cowboys lead over Carolina. Next week is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in prime time. They will be wearing the creamsicles, FYI. So stay tuned for that.
Best unis in the NFL? The creamsicle?
Non-Cowboys, they are up there.
Yeah.
I tried to put the Cowboys in their blues. We'll see if that actually worked. I wanted to go with the, I don't know if it'll work on Madden. Turpin will bring it out. Can he do it again? 20 and taken down at about the 25. He did his first kick. I mean, you know, he did his job in iconic fashion. 1st and 10. So I time it up right here. Wait. It was early. Can't quite get the timing down. It's tricky. They do it every time, though. Not every time, but close to it. So Cowboys up 31-10 here in the third quarter. Prescott in the shotgun. 2 tight ends right. Drops back to pass. Why not? Quick one caught by Lamb. Hit hard by Shaq Thompson, but it's a first down. Prescott 14 of 17 with 2 touchdowns. Another big game. I don't know why they're showcasing Luke Schoonmaker. He did not catch that pass. Weird. 2 tight ends. Schoonmaker out there. Pistol set for Prescott. Dak slant, caught, Lamb, first down past midfield. It's just domination right now. Lamb's got like 85 yards on the day. 1st and 10. We still got 3:10 to go here in the third quarter. It's 31 points, the most in any Madden sim by the Cowboys this year. Fullback in the game, Ezekiel Elliott, the back. He gets the handoff, cuts it up, and is going to get 5 on that running by Elliott. 2nd and 5. 2:45 to go in the third. From the 44. Prescott, slant, caught. Ferguson gets the first down. 16 of 19 for 195 and 2 scores. The Cowboys trying to improve in this year's Madden Sim to 12-2. Can't say it's very realistic, but so be it. Again, Elliott, the back. Lipke offset to the right now. Will motion to the left side as the Panthers flip a lineman. And the Cowboys run behind it. Zeke, 20, 15. Stiff arm gets inside the 15. I don't know why they did that. They flipped Lipke's side, and a Carolina defensive lineman stood up and ran to the other side of the offensive line, and they ran right at where he was. That makes no sense as a formation flip. They overload the other side and you go to the weak side? It doesn't make any sense. Nonsense there. So 1st and 10. Cowboys inside the 15. Handoff. Dowdle inside the 10 to the 9. A minute and a half to go now in the third quarter. Can Dallas drop 38 on Carolina? We've had one game this year where the Cowboys have scored 30. That was against the Lions earlier this year. A couple games with 28, 26, 27. Prescott to Deuce Vaughn. Oh, he's tackled at the 3. Little flat route for Deuce, our small king. 1st and goal. Ball at the 3. I think the Cowboys have actually already clinched a playoff spot, but at this point, they definitely have. Not the division yet. Slant caught, Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 37-10. Another one for CeeDee Lamb. The biggest blowout we have seen this year was a 24-point win back in Week 4, a 24-0 win, mind you, against the Giants. This is now a 27-point lead, and we are not yet to the fourth quarter. Wow. Aubrey's extra point is up and good, 38-10. I hope Madden subs in Trey Lance. I really hope that they put him in the game. I think that'd be awesome. I don't know if they pull the starters or not. I really have no idea. They used to have the auto sub feature because I would play college football or NCAA 14. I would have to unsub people because I would try to drop 100 on the CPU. So I would have to backups, and I got to change that. 38-10. This is how you would do it in a game like this where they just kept turning the ball over and throwing it and stopping the clock. That's how you would do it. All right, 38-10. Been a good game for Jonathan Brooks, but they can't run the ball down by 28. Zeno says Madden does not put backups in unless injury. Well, I turned injuries off. And RSWort14 says Lance auto sub for 50. I love it. I love it. 1st and 10. Shotgun set for Bryce Young. Oh, he's rattled. Throws it over the middle. Caught by Tremble. A gain of 9. Put Brevin Spann forward in the game. I don't even think he's on the roster, actually. I don't think they put the UDFAs in. I got Schoonmaker in the game. We'll start him if they have to play Trey Lance in Week 18. 2nd and 1. Bryce Young barking out some signals. They're flustered, though. Young over the middle, caught by, I think that was Miles Sanders. No, Deontay Johnson, sorry. 5, not 6. That is the final play of the third quarter. This has been a generational blowout for the Dallas Cowboys. They are up 38-10 A game that has not been close since the Turpin kick return. It was over at that point. Because then they got nothing, and then Dallas scored a touchdown the following drive. Bryce Young, draw, Brooks up the middle, picks up 9 and gets rocked by Malik Hooker. And you're fine. Like, they can pick up 9. That's fine. It's going to play off another 25 seconds. Who cares? Like, they want to bleed clock. Let them bleed clock. We'll go home with a dub. 2nd and 1 and a half. Just shy of midfield. Another handoff and a first down for Chuba Hubbard, who teleported a little bit there, which happens. Not a big deal. First and 10. MG is down so bad about a Cowboys blowout. Imagine he's calling it a fake Madden game. It's Madden. It's all fake. It's a video game, dude. Young. Almost picked by Jordan Lewis. Oh, 2nd and 10. That was close. That was close. Madden Mike fired up on the sideline. 5:06 to go in the ball game. It's 38-10. Dallas in a blowout. Waiting for another Micah play. Young. Slant. A little behind Deontay Johnson, but caught. 3rd and 1 coming up now. 3rd and 1. This is just how you bleed the final 5 minutes of game action here. Because you ain't coming back from down 28. Blitz is coming. Picked up. Young. Downfield. Broken up. Big play. Deron Bland got his hands on it. Wheel route to Chuba Hubbard. Incomplete. You got to go for it, right? Like, you might as well. Right? Now they're going to show the kicker and they're going to go for it. How do they not have that fixed? So dumb. So 4th and it's a solid 1. Handoff. Brooks is going to get the first down. It's fine. Bleed some clock. Bleed some clock. 1st and 10. .414 to go here in the ball game. Bryce Young. Over the middle. Incomplete. A Kalen Carson sighting. What? Why is he in the game? He's a backup corner. Did they really give a breather to Diggs or Bland there? That was weird. The starters are all out there still. I question the replay if they're accurate. Young, comeback route, picked off. Diggs going the other way. He's got nobody in front of him. Can he outrun Bryce Young? 20, 15, 10, 5. Pick 6, Trayvon Diggs. Icing on the cake. It's a Diggs pick 6. The other direction. Trayvon Diggs. The Cowboys dropping 40 plus. Terrible decision by Bryce Young. Diggs goes the other way for a pick 6. Get the turnover chain. Chatsports.com/Cowboys chain. It is 44-10. Oh my goodness. The biggest blowout we've ever seen. Extra point to make it 45-10 is good. This is unbelievable. This is 15 points more than they've scored in a game this year. You can double the clock to maximize the stats. Be 90-20. You're doing 6-minute quarters. Unbelievable. 45-10. I might just leave the chain on at this point. I might just. My goodness. Put the subs in, Madden. Turn on fast clock. So Carolina back out there with the worst performance I've ever seen in a sim. Two picks by Bryce Young. You had an offensive TD, a defensive TD, and a special teams touchdown. You got the trifecta today. You had multiple offensive TDs, obviously. Can we get one more? How funny would that be if there was another pick? Young, looking, over the middle, caught, no, dropped. Another drop by Deontay Johnson. 2nd and 10. By the way, I'm pretty sure at some point, RS Wirt put in Diggs pick 6 for 100. That also happened. Now, he's not going to do it because I would have do it. It's just on that drive. But he called that too, technically. Incredible. Called a Micah sack eventually. Oh, it's almost picked off again by Jordan Lewis. Oh, he almost did it again. He is that close. 3rd and 10. Prescott or Young in the shotgun. They showed Prescott with his weird teardrop looking thing. Young against the blitz, flush to his right, resets, throws, broken up by Diggs. Skied for that one, and Carolina will punt with 3:44 to go. At least I assume they're going to punt. Can we drop 50? Can we drop 50? There's no, they're going to run the ball, right? There's no way. Unless they get a massive return here by Turpin. Punt is away, and they block the punt, and they have to call for a fair catch. Turpin will at his own 27. Looks like they're not going to sub in Trance. In real life, we would see Trey Lance or Cooper Rush play. They would not keep Dak out there with a 35-point lead. First and 10. Long huddle shot for no reason. And they'll come out under center. Prescott, Dowdle behind him. 3 tight ends. Handoff. Dowdle, stretch left, is going to get 2 on that one. That'll hopefully the Cowboys go with the turn clock aggression conservative. What it should be. Lead that clock here. A blowout win by Dallas. If they tried, they could have dropped 50. I have no doubts about that. 3:05 to go. Prescott under center will snap this ball with 5, 4, 3, 2 on the play clock. Handoff to Elliott. Elliott is going to run forward and get all but a yard. 3rd and inches. Carolina not showing a ton of interest in calling timeouts with generic head coach 4 out there. A first down would likely end this if Carolina doesn't want to call timeouts here. We shall see. Ball is on the first down to gain marker. Handoff, Dowdle up the middle. Got it, first down. That will take us down into the 2-minute warning. And if the Panthers don't want to call timeouts, it's kneel down city. Or knowing Madden, they'll still run the ball and do weird stuff with it. So 45-10. What a performance this has been. Across the board from Dallas. Handoff. Dowdle gets rocked. Carolina will not call a timeout. And that means we are in the end game here, where Carolina is not going to stop the clock. And Dallas, a dominant, rare win. 45-10. Wow. RS Wirtz's long run TD for 100. I doubt it. They go with the protect the ball animation here. But I'd lose my mind. Delay of game. Come on. Well, add it to the penalty totals. What, 9-5, 9-4 this year against the Cowboys? Dumb. So we'll try it again. 2nd and 14. They're going to go shotgun here at their own 38-yard line. Hand off to Dowdle. Dowdle gets loose and is going to get 13. For a second, I thought it was there too. They haven't busted many 20-plus yard runs this year, though. So 3rd and 1, final play of the ball game coming up here. Dallas is going to win 45-10. What a blowout. Play clock down to 2. The snap comes. Play action pass. Dak throws it and what are they doing? Got Brandon Cooks downfield. Now, this is stuff in the stat sheet with garbage time stats. That's what that is. Why did they throw that? They did stop the clock. It's going to resume running here. They're going to go under center. They had scored a touchdown there on a pass. I would have lost my mind. Let's see if generic head coach 3 spikes his clipboard. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. He's going to do it. Oh! The laziest animation for him has been over since halftime. Like, why is that in there? All right, who was the Week 15 Cowboys MVP? Turpin? Dak? Diggs? CD played really well. Everyone? I don't know. Everyone showed up there. I think there's kind of no wrong answer on the Week 15 MVP. Sound off for me in the comments. Before we go, the last call on the pin poll, the next Cowboys legend voting. Duane Thomas, a narrow lead over Troy Hambrick. Sherman Williams in 3rd. And then Mike Weber, Derrick Lassic, 9%. Get those votes in, MWDL, SWDT, or TH. We'll announce the winner on Wednesday. It'll be the next winner there. Back live again on Thursday, so do not miss out. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV.